What's happening, gamers? K-Mega 405 coming to you live from the 405, where I'm just your regular gamer talking to the intelligent gamers. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Be so kind to hit that subscribe button, that like button, all of that. Let me hear what you think about the video in the comments, and let's get this party started. Look, it's already getting messy, and I know there's people right here that's looking at this like, PlayStation Square, what's going on here? But let me just explain. This is pretty messy. And of course, when you look at the headlines of articles, it's always clickbait. But this was actually throwing some shade at Sony for their business decisions over Ghost of Tsushima, the director's cut. Now, look, I loved Ghost of Tsushima. I thought that was my game of the year. And that's with including me playing Xbox, PlayStation, PC games, Switch games, all of that. I definitely that was just a special game, I thought, for a game that this was Sucker Punch's first big effort at a big budget game like this. I thought this was spectacular. And it also made even some Japanese publishers start to question, should they take a different approach on how they do their games, how they make their games, because the way that they set Japan and the whole thing with the Mongolians and everything, it was just perfectly done. I had no problems with the game. Wasn't too big. The game wasn't small at all. It had great content. Of course, there was fetch quests and things like that, but the game looked stunning, was great. Just a great, phenomenal game. It was definitely my game of the year. But again, the game came out last year. It's a last gen game. And Sony is doing a director's cut. It's going to be coming out August 20th, around my birthday, I think August 25th. So if anybody is interested, anyway. So here we go. All right. So this is what tripped me out about the article, because of course, this is a more PlayStation-centric publication, magazine, whatever. But when you read this, it kind of throws the shade right off the bat. It's like, hey, while the Japanese Giant's main competitor, Microsoft, continues to offer outrageous value through its Xbox Game Pass program, the PlayStation maker is hiking prices hard. Today's announcement of Ghost of Tsushima's director's cut is the further evidence of that. And so let me just go ahead and keep reading a little bit more of it. It says the game, already a year old, costs $69.99 on next-gen consoles, an outrageous sum when you consider that the release has been available since 2020. Yes, it includes the new island expansion and a variety of other welcome improvements, but this is effectively a Game of the Year edition, a re-release that historically would retail for a lower price point, not more. Sony instead is winging every last cent out of its loyal fans. Ouch. Yeah. All right. So the company, it says the company's commitment to its new next-gen pricing model means that it's charging $9.99 premium to upgrade the PS4 version of the director's cut to the PlayStation 5 version. At a time when free PS4 to PS5 upgrades have become a standard, the platform holder allows fans to upgrade their copies of the Spider-Man Miles Morales and Sackboy: A Big Adventure free of charge less than a year ago. And so, wow, it keeps going. I mean, it's really not that long of a read, but this is the part right here that just kind of threw me off, because this isn't normal from what you see from coming from Push Square. But it says right here, as far as we can tell, the major differences between Ghost of Tsushima PlayStation 5 and the PlayStation 4 versions is the addition of Japanese lip sync, 3D audio, the DualSense support, most expected improvements for the next gen upgrade at this stage. We're sure there'll be more under the hood, but drastically improve with drastically improved load times, for example. But otherwise, this sounds fairly standard stuff for a PlayStation 4 to PlayStation 5 upgrade. Now, it says this right here that's pretty deep, right? Like just foul, in my opinion. It says, but with the competition's offerings such as impressive value, PlayStation is beginning to look like the extremely expensive alternative. The platform holder would argue that we're paying a premium or you're paying a premium for some of the best games ever made. It's hard to disagree with that, yet for cliche and eye-rolling as this conclusion may read, for the players really does appear to become for the payers. Yo. Man. Yeah. I mean, all right. So the question is with this, right? And so I asked a question on Twitter about this, right? And so I basically was asking people, what do you think about the price? You know, because it doesn't really matter. I'm never going to try to be in anybody's pocket. You spend what you want to spend, you get what you want to get. I know that there's a lot of people that always wants to wallet check and they wants to try to get into people's, try to make people feel bad because of Game Pass, because people think that all they do is just play these games, not knowing that there's a lot of people that pays for Ultimate Game Pass, but then there's also people that knows workarounds to where they want you to keep playing games and that you get incentives and that you could just get Ultimate Game Pass for free if you go through the steps through the reward system or program. But regardless, if somebody is invested into something and the other people's giving better value than the competition, nobody should be felt bad because they're still playing these games, and most people are, and it's shown through from what Game Pass has been showing is that they have been giving they've given a lot of help and support to these devs, and that's why you see more and more of these games coming over to Game Pass. The value is just there. More gamers, more of these games have access to the gamers like they've never had before. It's a positive thing, and people try to make you feel bad about that, which is ridiculous. And I feel on the opposite end, gamers, just because we over here at Xbox have the value of Game Pass, shouldn't try to ridicule PlayStation gamers that feel that paying for $70 for a game is a bad thing. That is their money. They do what they want to with it. That being said, though, Ghost of Tsushima is a little different. Somebody said this, and I agree 100% that value is the eye of the beholder, pretty much, because Ghost of Tsushima is such a fantastic game. Not too many people are going to complain. They'll kind of overlook it because they feel that the quality is going to be there, especially with the expansion of the new island and the multiplayer. And of course, if you have a PlayStation 5, you get those other enhancements as well. Now, with that being said, think about it like this. What if this was Godfall? I don't think too many people would be excited about that. What if this was, the PlayStation All-Stars game? I forget what it's called. Derby All-Stars. I forget what it's actually called, but the All-Stars game. Or even, as there's a lot of people that say that they like Returnal, but what if Returnal was doing this, right? Like, let's just say that, and I understand that Returnal isn't a game that's supposed to be being able to be played on a PlayStation 4. That's a whole nother animal in itself. I don't agree with some people, and even people from my GRG camp, that will tell me that a game like Ratchet and Clank or Returnal or some other games aren't able to be played on the PlayStation 4 when God of War and Horizon Zero Dawn and GT7, all much more bigger games than all the games that's come out so far for PlayStation, are going to be coming on PlayStation 4. That to me, that's what just kills the whole thing. Ratchet and Clank could be maybe that exception because of the way that they do the time thing. But I was just watching a video today with the reviews with somebody big time YouTuber that was doing a review of Ratchet and Clank and basically breaking down that the load time situation, stuff like that, was even being used back from Ratchet and Clank, not for doing where he was doing the time jump stuff, but for no load times was on PlayStation 4 games and even on PlayStation 2 games. So that's like I said, that's a whole different can of worms. But the one thing to me that makes this strange is because now some that's a company that's on PlayStation side 1,000%, 1,000,000% are now starting to question Sony's thought process on how to gain revenue from their games. I don't know. I mean, you can't call it, because you understand that games were going to start going up, and eventually maybe Xbox will start making their games go up. But for right now, this is not a good look for Sony when it comes to looking at the older games like that. it seems like, look, we're going to try to nickel and dime you for every little bit. This right here, it seems it's not going to be as bad because we're talking about a fantastic title. But once they start doing this with other titles that aren't so fantastic, then it starts becoming a problem. And listen, when you have this push Square calling out these type of things, I think more people are going to start questioning Sony's behavior with that. Now, will Sony back down and change? Absolutely not. But when you look at an older title, and just like what it said in the article, that this would be looked at as a game of the year release, it would be $50. It wouldn't be $60 or $70. So I don't know, but I wanted to touch on that. I thought this was pretty messy. I'm finna get out of here. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments. Would you pay $30 for, not let's say for this game, but let's just say another game? Like, for instance, would you pay an extra $30 for DLC for a smaller title? And if you would, explain why. But for this right here, like I said, I see there's a lot of people that's going to overlook the price point because they feel like the value is going to be there because the game has been solid and then the game had plenty of content as it is with the free multiplayer and all of that. So I can get that. I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to knock it. But if Sony keeps this strategy going, will PlayStation gamers start to be louder about their disapproval about these enhancements, especially these things where the competition is making things free for their competition? So I don't know. I'd like to hear your thoughts about it. Everybody have a good one until the next video. Oh man, where's he at? We out. Peace.